It was a typical Tuesday afternoon, and I found myself at my office desk trying to focus on work. But there was one thing that kept distracting me: thoughts of my coworker, Mark. Mark had always caught my attention. He was handsome, with dark hair and bright blue eyes that seemed to penetrate my soul whenever he spoke to me. There was just something about him that made my heart race. We had developed a close friendship over the months we'd been working together. We would often chat during our breaks, sharing stories and laughter. But recently, there had been an underlying tension between us. A subtle flirtation that hung in the air whenever we were alone. I couldn't help but wonder what it would be like to be intimate with him. The thought consumed my mind as I sat at my desk, trying to concentrate on my work. Before I knew it, the day was coming to an end. Mark came over to say goodbye before heading out himself. "Hey, do you want to get a drink after work?" I blurted out before I could stop myself. A smile spread across his face as he eagerly accepted the invitation. We met up at a nearby bar and settled into a quiet booth in the corner. The conversation flowed easily between us as we sipped our drinks. It felt comfortable yet charged with electricity. As the night wore on and our inhibitions dropped, our conversations became more intimate. We shared secrets and dreams as if we had known each other for years rather than just being coworkers. I couldn't deny the chemistry between us any longer. I needed to know if he felt the same way. "Mark," I said softly, looking into his eyes. "There's something I need to tell you." He leaned in closer, his eyes full of curiosity and anticipation. "I can't stop thinking about you," I confessed shyly. "Every time I see you at work, my heart races. I can't help but wonder what it would be like to be with you." A small smile played on his lips as he reached out to take my hand. "I feel the same way," he admitted. "I've been fighting these feelings for so long, but I can't resist you anymore." My heart soared at his words, and in that moment, all of my inhibitions vanished. I leaned in closer, capturing his lips with mine in a passionate kiss. The world around us faded away as we lost ourselves in each other. We left the bar quickly, eager to explore our newfound desire for one another. We stumbled into my office building, unable to keep our hands off each other. The elevator ride up to the 12th floor was torturous as we kissed and touched each other fervently. Once inside my empty office, all pretenses were dropped. Mark pushed me against my desk, his mouth on mine as his hands roamed over my body. I moaned into his kiss as he squeezed my skin through the thin fabric of my blouse. His touch sent jolts of electricity straight to my core. In one swift motion, he unbuttoned and removed my blouse, exposing myself to him. He took a step back to admire me before diving in eagerly. My head fell back in pleasure as I ran my hands through his hair. It felt so good to finally let go and indulge in this forbidden desire. Mark knelt before me, looking up with hungry eyes, before slowly sliding off the fabric. I stood before him completely naked, feeling exposed yet empowered by his gaze. He placed soft kisses on my skin. I shivered in anticipation. And then, just as I was about to tip over the edge, he pulled away. I looked down at him in confusion, desperate for release. "I want to feel you," he said. He quickly shed his clothes and stood before me completely naked. My eyes roamed over every inch of him, from his broad shoulders to his chiseled abs. That night we made passionate love on my desk, right within my office, where we worked and saw each other every day. The desk creaked under the pressure of our passion, threatening to give way beneath us. We lay there on my desk for what felt like an eternity, our bodies intertwined and covered in a sheen of sweat. It was the most beautiful mess we had ever made together. Eventually, we managed to gather ourselves and get dressed, before making our way back down to reality. We shared a lingering kiss before going our separate ways for the night, both promising that this was just the beginning for us. From that day forward, Mark became more than just a coworker, he became my secret lover. We continued our affair behind closed doors, always finding new places around the office building to explore our passion. It was risky and exciting, full of stolen glances and hushed whispers. But it was also liberating, giving us an outlet for desires that couldn't be ignored any longer. We both knew it couldn't last forever. Eventually, our affair would come crashing down around us. But for now, we were content in living out this fantasy together. And every Tuesday afternoon, when I found myself at my office desk, I couldn't help but smile. Because I knew that come 5 o'clock, Mark would be by my side, ready to make me forget about everything except the way his touch made me feel.